Alright, back at you again. Now we're down in the swamp. Now, down here in the swamp, I just want to show you, got the feeder, got the deer cane, and I've had a salt block down here for a while. They've been just tearing it up. A little bit of everything will eat on these. I've even seen turkeys sit there and peck at it. The reason I'm keeping this area right here is I set up a month and a half ago. I came down here and I just put the feeder in here. That's all I did. And I put a, you can tell right here, I had a cheap trail cam right here. Now on these trail cameras, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, it's called a Bresner, I think. Pay $29.99 for it at Walmart. These cameras are freaking awesome. But anything that moves in front of these cameras, it's gonna take a picture of. So I had like 3005, 3007 pictures, but I had pictures of everything. I had armadillos, I had coyotes, I had deer, I had birds, I had turkeys, everything in here. Now there wasn't a whole lot of deer movement in here. I think we only had like 15 or 16 pictures of deer in here, but most of them were turkeys, coyotes, armadillos, had squirrels everywhere in here. But just telling you about those trail cams. I got a $150 trail cam and I got a $30 trail cam. Unless you need dates, you can tell if it's day or night, I mean with common sense, but unless you want to know a specific time, because on those cheaper cameras, they don't have a time or a date stamped on them. But for 30 bucks, what can you do? Kind of off the subject there, but I'm gonna go back to this spot right here. Not a whole lot of deer activity on the camera, but all year last year from bow season, September 15th until the end of February, actually, in this area right here, this is what we call the swamp. We call it the swamp because literally it's a creek bottom, and when there's a lot of rain, it literally down in this spot right here turns into a swamp. But in this area right here, all of this right here, it just stayed in active scrape. There was never one time from October till the end of January that we did not see a scrape again. So with that being said, you know, I'm going to keep a feeder in here, and I'm going to keep them coming in here just because I know that buck, and nobody shot a big, I shot the only buck down here last year, shot a smaller 8-point, but I know that deer's still in here. I know he is, just from rubs and scrapes on trees. I'm going to show you just an example. What I did is when I was seeing those scrapes right there, where this opening is right here is the power line. Now, just for example, there's probably 30 of these. You can tell this is an older rub on the tree, but there was probably 20 trees in here. I mean, I'm not going to take up your time, but they're just all the way down in here on this side of the road and this side of the road, just rubs. And you had 4 or 5, 2 real big active scrapes, but you had a lot of rubs on trees and whatnot. So what I did is right here, I made what they call a mock scrape. And later on, in about the end of September, after I've bow hunted a couple times, I'm gonna come right back here to this tree, and I'm gonna hang it's a drip. It's a pre-rut active scrape drip. Once again, I'm not making money off of none of this stuff. I'm just telling you what throughout the years I've learned, and it works. I mean, it works. If you put an active scrape right here and kind of scrape everything out, which once again I'll have a video of it. It actually, when I made that scrape right there, it actually pissed that deer off. And I came back in here 3 days later, and there was a scrape right beside it. Blow your mind, but I'll have videos on that later on in the year too. And it feeds out into the power line. So if they're in here, they're gonna cross that power line. And really, we just hunt 3 or 4 stands in here. We got the power line, my back corner, and down in here. And there's not a stand in here. This is just to keep the deer here. Once again, this is just kind of work that we have to do, maintenance that you have to do. Don't cost a whole lot of money. I spent, other than gas money,